Miles from civilization. No sign of rescue.
It doesn't matter who's in charge. We've just got to work together.
A plane goes down in the middle of the ocean. There's no wreckage. Who's gonna find us?
They will discover more than they ever imagined. More freedom than they have ever known.
Gotta work together.
We did everything just the way grown-ups would have.
Kill it!
Why didn't it work?
Lord of the Flies.
Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo, yo, yo!
Yeah, folks, man, and today we got an interesting film, man. This is an adaptation of a novel, and it's going to be Lord of the Flies from 1990, man. This is an interesting tale, man. It's more about what happens, man, when you don't have society, and society is kind of being formed, you know, in the moment, you know, because essentially we got a group of, they look like military school kids, and they are in the plane that crashes, you know, right on the coast of this island. So they end up marooned on this island, and there's a group of them, and they don't know whether they're going to be rescued or not, but they also have to contend with survival, eating, you know, and also getting along, which is, I think, which is the basis of what this story is about. You know what I'm saying? And what happens when there is no government, no police, no checks and balances? How does society form or start to reform? And this is an interesting premise. We've seen it, you know, dealt with, you know, over the years and different various
But it
adaptations.
starts with this. It starts with this, not just this movie, but the story from Sir William Golding. And, you know, dog, you're breaking the rules. You know, if you want to talk, you got to have the conch, man. But that's the thing. Like, you know, like for me personally with this story, you know, it was so impactful to me because when I first saw it in 1990, I saw it when it first released on VHS, and I was around the same age as these kids. So it instilled the thought in my mind, like, damn, what would me and my friends do if we were stranded on an island with no adult supervision? But, you know, and that's that, like you said, to your point, this story, it emphasizes one key factor that, you know, when it comes to youth, without adult supervision, without structured living, without guidance, the end result will be chaos and anarchy. You know what I'm saying? They need somebody to kind of keep their impulsive thoughts at bay.
It's interesting you say with no adults around, but like we've even seen with adults around how messed up things would be. Because like I said, this thing it's a cool film, and we've seen them explore this stuff in various ways on our life. Like even if you look at something like now current, like The Walking Dead, is based on this, and then like the zombies ain't the worst thing. The island ain't the worst thing. It's your fellow man that's out there with you in this world that's the real danger.
And the thing is with them is that they're still at an age where they're trying to figure it out. You see what I'm saying? Whereas like you can watch, you know, adults or more, you know, more seasoned human beings in these situations, and they spiral into madness because they think they have the wherewithal to handle things, or due to my experiences in life, I'll be better fit to be a leader, to maneuver through this situation. Where these kids, they don't have that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still, and these kids, they're military school kids. So that structure,
you would think that structure would have stayed together longer, considering they were military school kids.
You would think
that's wild, yo.
And that's the thing too. Like, because I mean, they really pretty much they keep it together for about a day. And you know what I'm saying? And that's where, you know, they have the initial assembly where, you know, that's, you know, they find the conch, which I love the importance of the conch. I'll just get into that right now, because what that is it's a symbolism of humanity and structure that they need. Like it's something to remind them that the rules do exist and they do need to be implied to live a civilized society, in a civilized society. And, you know, they try to keep that going on by saying, like, you know, whoever holds the conch gets to speak. Everyone can speak. There is not really a power struggle per se, but there is a hierarchy into how things, the pecking order of how things will be done. But with this first assembly, you see that, you know, Ralph, he's trying to create, and live by a certain set of rules just to make sure, like, look, we need to follow these rules so we can survive, but then also keeping the mindset that, we're doing these things knowing we're going to get rescued. We need to follow these set rules so when the time comes that we will get rescued, we will be okay. And then you have Jack on the other hand. He's like, yo, we don't want to live by the rules anymore. There ain't nobody to tell us what to do. Yeah, so, you got the give and the take. Happen.
This thing is a really, like I said, it's a great experiment of looking into what will happen. And I'm pretty sure a society that just having like this with adults will happen the same thing. Wait, we see, you look at the show Lost. Yeah. And it's exploring things, and it's like, yo, some people are going to want to, work together, and then you're going to have those rugged individualists, and then you're going to have those anarchists, man. And it's interesting because, we get elements of it all. You know what I'm saying? We get Ralph. He's trying to keep this shit together, and then Jack is just crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Jack is just like, whatever. We're finally getting to have our fun and get our rocks off and really do what we want. That structure's gone. We get to be kids with no responsibilities, and it just quickly evolves, man.
One thing I do like about this is because, like I said, this was a core novel that we both had to read in high school. Mm-hmm. The book hits heavy, okay? And then they did a 1963 version that kind of ran parallel with the book. This one switches up a little bit, and one of the things I like was the approach of how the kids initially first come to the island. See, in the book and in the 63 version, it starts with them already on the island, all spread out, and what brings them together is, Ralph blowing the conch, and until that point, they didn't know how many kids there were on the island, who survived, who made it through, who didn't, and in this one,
I guess because they all kind of washed up.
They all washed up in different areas, different locales.
This one, they kind of come in a boat.
They come in a boat together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one band, one sound kind of situation. And because they decided to take this approach, I feel like it gives us an opportunity to see the divide between the mindset a little faster because they entered in as a group. You have one group that is holding on to hope and the thought of being saved and wanting to, be rescued and get back to what what they know as normal living. And then you have the other group that's like, we're embracing this new way of life. Mm-hmm. This, we are now hunters. We are like voyeurs of the land. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they get their rocks off of like, they want to hunt the pigs. They even go as far as to like, put the war paint on and everything. My man, like the one of them, he stabs the pig one time. They use the blood for the red, the soot from the smoke to, get this black and red thing going on. So they even got like tribal colors. They're all like war painting the same. It's like, it's really cool because they still, as wild as it seems and as it looked, they're still a united front, even though they're, in essence, not doing things, the right way.
I think one of the interesting dynamics, though, is the fact that these kids are also various ages, man. You've got them all the way down to maybe first graders up until like maybe 11, 12, you know what I'm saying? So, and there's a crazy divide because, I mean, you see how Jack's able to also run off with those kids, man. It's like, it's Ralph and Piggy, pretty much, so they're their little crew. But then it's like the younger kids have gravitated toward Jack because he's a little bit looser. He lets them kind of do what they want as long as they follow him. He's not too hard on them. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that he's recommend doing is a little bit more interesting to them. Piggy, Ralph, they're trying to build shelter. They're gathering food. And Jack's like, yo, let's go hunt. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because I think that kind of dynamic made it easier for those younger kids to want to follow him instead of stick with Ralph's leadership, man.
See, for me, I kind of got a different vibe. Like I with the younger ones, I felt like the ones that were more scared, they wanted to, they leaned more towards Ralph because he kind of embodied an adult, you know what I'm saying, and what they were used to. Whereas Jack, on the other hand, he created fear, and then, he led with arrogance and manipulation. You scare people first, and then they are more susceptible to be manipulated to then, get them to follow him, as he's pretty much, in essence, just doing what he wants to do, what he feels is fun. I mean, he even goes...
But that's more appealing to them younger kids, to more of them. There are some that step out that... One scene where the one kid's like, "Are we ever gonna go home?" Yeah, and you're like, "Damn!" And they got Ralph's got a couple of them on his side, but Jack's got the mob. Dude.
He's got the mob, dude. Strength in numbers.
He's got the mob.
And and the thing is too that with him creating this level of fear, he also he helps quench that thirst for blood, like the look for doing something for yourself to kind of level up in this new wave of society. Like they kill the pig and everything, and he's like, yeah, we're hunters now, we're fierce, we're to be respected, you know what I'm saying, and if you run with me, you're going to be respected too. But then also by creating this mythos of the beast, so there is still something for everyone to be scared of, and also to unite for when they have to, ultimately come together and fight it as a unit. You know what I mean? And I mean, for him to be, I don't know, a 13-year-old kid and to have this mindset, I mean, this is like, he's like a cult leader at 12. What is, what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if he's as smart as it's all primal shit, man. Really, it's breaking down on those levels. I don't think he's a genius or nothing. He just, like you say, you showing that strength and the brutality, and it's also a thing too. If you don't listen to him, he'll just smack you upside the head. That's why I think he kind of lords, no pun intended, over these younger kids in a way too, because he's willing to he'll get physical with you, man. We've seen him. We see how he's treating the other kids. Kind of even the whole spear exercise on the beach where they're pretending like, oh, get the beast, pretend he's the beast, and it's just building them up to be more open to his rule,
and also with him as every person in his position, when they pretty much are the leader of a group, they have the ultimate henchman. They have their right-hand man, and he was no different. He had Roger, and Roger is the one, he's the enforcer on the island. He's the one that really is doing the dirty work. Jack is the one, he's the voice, but Roger's the muscle. He's the one that's, he's pushing the rocks. He's the one he's the one who stabs the pig first. I mean, even, how I knew I had to watch out for this young man? Because when they were first carving their spears, he knew how to carve his spear into an arrowhead. Everybody else is carving regular spears.
There's probably different skill sets with all that. But he learned that in the Boy Scouts before he got to the school.
Who knows? But and it's wild because and he, like I said, he follows Jack around from day one. You can tell that they were probably friends before in the school, and he's gonna rock with Jack in any way, shape, or form. But then on the flip side of that, you get what Roger is to Jack, Piggy is to Ralph. You know what I'm saying? Because they're also hooked at the hip. While Ralph is the righteous one, he's trying to keep everybody in line and do everything, quote unquote, the right way, or at least what they knew what right was. Piggy is the voice of reason. Every time my man speaks, he says something meaningful. There's not a time where his dialogue just goes in one ear and out the other. He's speaking as an adult would, by keeping things positive, by keeping things hopeful, and keeping everybody aware, you know what I'm saying? And also holding people accountable for what they're doing. Real quick, I like what we got from Simon. Simon also, he's the one, the caretaker for the human. You know what I'm saying? There is only one human that's alive, and Simon is taking care of them through, everything that's going on. Spot check to Bob Peck too. He's probably the most notable person on this cast bill, and he's the guy at the end that shows up. The military guy is like, "What are y'all doing?" He was actually the hunter from Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's where his face
the most notable.
Man. That is another interesting aspect, because this thing, the cast of it, like when we talk about the main cast, which I would consider the kids, man, there's no one in here that really went on to do anything else, except maybe one of them. Some of them did go on to do more films, but there's only really one of them that got a lot of film roles and transitioned into like an adult actor.
And it was Simon. It was Simon. James Badge Dale. And it's funny though, the Chris Furrh, he's the one who played Jack. He two roles. this one that came out in 1990. He was also in another film that came out in 1990 about kids getting stranded on an island called Exile. So apparently he had so much fun getting lost on this island, he got lost again.
Maybe that's a testament to the kind of roles that were available. You know what I'm saying?
Very much so. Very much so. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. When it comes to this setting, this atmospheric tone that is presented for us, like, it's gorgeous. Like you said, this tropical element and everything. But what I like about it most is like I said, with this reading the novel, and having to, when you read it, you have to use your own imagination to kind of to visualize this layout and what they're going through as far as what the elements are putting them through. But to see it on screen, it really emphasizes and it impacts the shock value a little more. You know what I'm saying? The concept is shocking enough, but to see this happening the way it's happening, like them cutting through the big thick leaves and actually hunting down the pig, and being on the beach and all the the salt water, having to look for fresh water to drink and all this stuff. I mean, it really hits hard for this story, you know what I'm saying, and works. It goes hand in hand with what we see conceptually, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And
so, I do know that they did a previous film adaptation of this thing.
Yes. 1963.
63, man. So what are like differences that stand out to you about these two?
There is a couple major differences. Like I said, the one I spoke on initially with the actual the first assembly, that is a major part of the story in the novel and in the first film. And in this one, it was kind of glazed over a little differently, but I prefer the 1990 version better, and everything that I said before. Another one is actually the mythos of the beast and how it was impacting the children, especially Simon. Like, Simon was having these vivid dreams of like this pig monster situation that was coming out to attack them. And
I mean, it's kind of why this thing is named what it is, the Lord of the Flies, because that pig monster was, the head had all these flies buzzing around it, and maggots and stuff at one point from sitting out there. But like you said, he thought it was something that had power and spirituality.
Exactly, especially in the novel. And that also kind of led into, his interaction with the adult. Like in the book, in the 63 version, they never interacted with the adult, the pilot of the plane. He actually was just dead in the jungle, and Simon comes across him already as a carcass, already messed up and mutilated. Whereas this one, he almost is his caretaker in essence. Another thing, and this one was kind of rough for me, you know what I'm saying? The killing in the 90s version is more vivid, more raw, unsettling, okay? With Simon, in the novel, in the 63 version, when after they're dancing around, celebrating the pig, woo, we're warriors now, yeah, and they see in this one they see Simon, with the cracked glow stick running up the beach, kill the beast, boom,
which
boom,
is
boom.
Weird. Why did he?
Which and you can look in Jack's face,
maybe because of the frenzy that he got worked him up.
Everybody
into,
was adrenaline pumping, and if there's what better time to kill a beast when you got the blood flowing, and they're all amped up on half cooked pig meat and everything. Who knows what's going on? What I mean?
Fucking tapeworms got him.
Exactly. Got him on one. You know what I'm saying? They were going ham for real.
Oh my God.
but zing. But with that, like you see that in this one, in the original, Simon was just kind of creeping through the jungle, and because the film is in black and white, you can't really tell if it's nighttime or not. But they killed him, but it was in a more the end result was the same, but it didn't look as harsh. But another difference.
But also when I think about Simon, like Simon was directly linked to Ralph and Piggy. He might have been the one that Jack didn't have loyalty from. So maybe that was just on purpose. That was him trying to just gain more power and eventually, work these guys up to turn against Ralph and Piggy for them to make for him to make that final move and seal his leadership.
Absolutely. You know? And the other most glaring difference to me was actually Piggy's demise. In the book, I mean, you get a description in the 63 version. It's implied what happens. I mean, you see the rock go off the cliff, but that's kind of it. And in this one,
you just see him laid out.
Yeah, you see. I mean, Ralph screams. Yeah,
you can almost see brain matter, bro.
I mean, on that note, let's have a small moment of silence for Piggy.
Yeah, that was kind of messed up. It hurts. I like Piggy, man. He wasn't a bad guy.
It hurts my heart every time I see it.
Everything that they were upset about Piggy complaining about is stuff that would have helped them.
It's because he was trying to maintain order.
And it's just that they don't recognize that.
No.
They're so stuck in their ways. And Jack is just, like I said, Jack is just... It's loosely. It's almost like Jack would be like that dude from Mad Max, from Fury Road.
Yes.
Like it's just like, all right, we'll roll with you because you let us do most of what we want to do.
Yes, exactly.
But we can maraud.
But at the same time, Jack is doing all of what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the strength in numbers, and that, like I said, that's something, I've seen this movie a lot. I saw it well before I read the book, well before it was something that I had to do to graduate high school. And every time I see this movie, I just want to see Piggy dodge the rock every time, dog.
Big ass ain't dodging shit.
He ain't dodging nothing.
Should have been looking around.
Like, bro. The only thing, as important as the conch is,
that shit was cold. You don't want the man. Conch. Like, I couldn't do that to somebody. No, just throw a big rock off a cliff after.
And Roger did it on.
It shows me how disconnected they were. They just it's savagery, bro. You're not caring about the next man.
Yes.
I couldn't do that, bro.
Like, Roger did it. He is the enforcer. He just did it just because he was like, man, I'm gonna shut this dude up finally. And then, after it happens, you see Jack. He's like Ralph's like, you're not gonna get away with this. He's like, shut up. What you gonna do, man? And then he gets everyone to start throwing rocks at him. And then, that's another thing I like too, because in essence, because of,
but see, by then they had already killed one person.
They already killed Simon.
This is like, we're going to keep it moving.
And in essence, due to the savagery is what got them saved. Because once they start trying to kill Ralph, they actually set the whole jungle or the whole island on fire.
They were trying to burn them out?
They were trying, because this is that premeditating stuff that happens in films. Because when Jack was initially first asked, how are you going to kill a pig? He was like, man, we're going to smoke him out. They tried to smoke Roger out to the beach by setting the whole island on fire. And that's what gives the pilots, the rescue team, it gives the rescue team a clear-cut indicator of where they are.
But also, it's like, what are you going to do if you burn the damn jungle down? You done burnt all the food up. You know what I'm saying? You probably burnt the pig. Like, what's going to happen next?
Just shows that they kids that don't know what they doing. They riding the tide with no surfboard, man. But, another thing, about all this, I mean...
Why they even put a help joint on the beach? I'm looking now at the scene where the helicopter's flying around. I'm like, yo...
Well, that was why you got to keep the fire going.
See, and because of discipline. They're like it's all the
and
order.
That's the thing. Like, they lit the tree, or they lit the fire by the tree, and then, the first time the fire goes out, when the plane first was looking for him, and Jack's team was on watch, and they decided to go hunt. And that's why Ralph's like, man, y'all let the fire go out.
You didn't need all of them to hunt.
No.
You could have left two before the fucking fire.
For them, it's fun.
It's fun work.
We don't want to do what needs to be done. We want to do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Man. Which is a testament of that's a failure in society as a whole. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to do what has to be done. They want to do what they want to do. The end result is always catching an L. You know what I'm saying? You have to do what needs to be done. And, just because this story is being told through the mind of children.
Fridge, so you got, 2 days, 3 days on that meat?
That's it. I mean, and for me, it's how quickly this happened. Like I said, they went from 0 to 100,000 in like 3 days, dog. You only see 3 nights. 3 nights. So that might be 4 days that they really had to go from,
Is that the official count? Like, did they say?
I counted 3 nights.
I'm looking at the movie, but like
I don't know. I mean, even if it's not official, I would say, man,
I would say it probably took longer because the like if you look at the original novel, like you said, the state of decay of the pilot was found in, and then the pig's head as it decays in the novel, you know. So it's probably it might be a week or two.
Shits or giggles. We'll give them 2 weeks max.
Yeah,
2 weeks ain't enough to go crazy.
Trust me, dog. I think I can see that happening here. I mean, we see Survivor the TV show. It gets savage pretty quick. People start cutting each other throat real fast, man.
Fighting over bones. I want that shin meat.
Yeah. So interesting thing about this film though is it comes around to its conclusion, man. I like the ending. When it comes to a crescendo, the island's on fire. They're chasing Ralph to take him out. Finally, he's like the last pillar of structure. So killing him and it's over. So they run him out onto the beach, man, and it's interesting because he runs into the Marine onto the beach, and it's almost like right at the exact moment. It's perfect timing to save him, but it's also a real crazy moment because, I mean, he's looking about as normal as you can for a guy that's been out here for this long, and he's at the foot of the soldier, and the soldier looks up.
He's crying.
It's like, what's going on? Yeah, and he looks
what
at
are
him,
y'all doing?
It's like a relief. But then all the other boys come out of the jungle in their gear with spears ready to go, and he's just looking up, like looking at him. He's like, "What are y'all doing here?" And it's a poignant moment because, like, part of it is because you see him and the other guys in uniform, and I'm like, this is what you guys are supposed to be. So how did you guys go? You know, when you grow up. So how did you guys go from supposed to be this to just straight savagery and just like it's crazy.
You know what I like?
It's a crazy image, man. I love it, like to see that contrast of the dynamic of it, man.
You know what hits me is, like you said, when Ralph comes out, I mean, he's, you know, you can tell he's on straight survival mode, scared to death. But when the kids come out, I mean, they're on straight warrior mode. They got their war paint going, sweating out there, their war faces, spears raised. But the instant they see the adult figures on their face, they turn to children again. Reality they get hit by a reality thunderbolt.
I think it's like, a little bit of also embarrassment too, because like at least it looks. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going on in their head, but part of me is like, oh, goddamn, like we kind of fucked up. I mean, I think it's just how did we get to this?
It was now. Yes, reality. Now we're going to have to answer for everything that was done. Someone's going to ask questions. Man,
I'm telling all these motherfuckers.
Ralph is snitching, dog.
They killed that man.
Rock pusher. They gang speared Simon.
All y'all motherfuckers. I'm telling on everybody. I would like to see this revisited, man. There's been enough time. Like throw some names in it, you know, into the bunch and just go.
And yes, and give us this version. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, I mean, conceptually, you know, we've seen a lot, and this. I mean, this story has inspired a lot of films that I also hold dear to my heart. You know, and TV shows. I mean, Sweetheart. That came out with Kirstie Clemens. That was dope. Manos, that we reviewed that on the other show a couple years back. There was even one that I saw called Lady World, where it follows this concept to the T, except they get lost in a home.
Yellow Jackets.
That is mine and my daughter's favorite current TV show, dog.
Even like Lost, you know, they borrow elements from this.
Or I mean, even take it a step further, like Survivor, or you know, any of these films. I mean, this is
Survivor. Game show, reality show series.
I mean, this is this concept.
Naked and Afraid.
This is this concept. You know what I'm saying? Done in various forms, which is just like it's a testament of when you throw something to the wall and it sticks. You know what I'm saying? And you can really shape and mold it into your own creation, while still keeping the core value the same. I mean, I love this movie through and through. The novel is great. I own it. I read it. I've read it more than once. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just for this show particularly, I watched the 63 version again, which I've seen. Don't own the physical media, but I'm going to get. But that one, if anyone who wants to watch it, is playing for free on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So you can you get this one for free on Tubi, then compare contrast on YouTube. They're both running in an hour and 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so man, I think we can wrap this up, man. Make sure you check us out, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, man. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. That will already have passed by the time you see this.
It will. It will.
But we got more in store for you, man. We ain't going nowhere, man.
That's it.
Subscribe and all that. Check out the merch below in the links.
And buy some. Don't just look.
Yeah, check us out
Impulsively
on Instagram.
buy. It's great.
Instagram at Classic Cinematics, and you catch me at Monkey Blood on Instagram and Twitter.
And this is Bobby Blockbuster. You can catch me out in the real world or on the next show.
Peace. Yeah, man.